Peace, my fellow expressions of consciousness. So it's an apparent new year. This is an alternative, or you could call it spiritual message for those of you particularly who are on the spiritual path. You are seeking awakening, or you may believe you've had the awakening or an awakening. I'm here to tell you, through experience, there is only one awakening. If your spiritual awakening consists of opening a third eye, having more abilities to move energy around, feeling more heat sensations in your hands, having more lucid dreams, any of these type of experiences, they are not an awakening, for they are still using mind. Thus there is still identity, for mind is basically ego. It's fun to experience different images, such as a spirit, but the spirit only exists within mind, so it's not an awakening, because everything exists within mind. So what have you awoken from? You're still in mind. I say with complete love and respect, for that was me too. I used to believe like this. Oh, I'm awakened now, I can see spirits, or now my third eye is open. It's still ego. And I'm not saying that in a negative way. Don't take it negatively. Ego has its use. So the awakening that is the awakening, that you are consciously or unconsciously, so to speak, meaning you didn't realize, because there's no such thing as unconsciousness, maybe you didn't realize what you're really seeking is liberation from mind. For mind cannot experience liberation, for mind is not around long enough to perceive any change of such a magnitude, because mind is limited. But my friends, that which perceives mind is unlimited, for it can experience the changes that mind sees. So that which experiences mind is changeless, and that is what you are trying to get to, whether you know it or not. I had my awakening so-called last year, and so-called because with the awakening you realize there is no me that ever needed to be awoken from anything. But speaking as a person right now, to help you, when I woke up, I saw clearly the oneness people speak of. Oneness isn't even the best word to give it, but it's the best we can use when we use using mind, using thought, because again, thought is limited. So to describe what it really is using a limited faculty such as mind is impossible, but here goes. I saw clearly that there is only consciousness. I saw clearly that people, which includes me and other people, We're just different forms of the same pure consciousness. And here's the thing, no person has their own mind, has their own thoughts. Just as you'd look at a toy and you would know there is no mind in the toy. It was that clear, my friends. It looked like everybody was acting, because unbeknownst to them, everybody is acting. They are pure consciousness. Pure consciousness knows what it is, but as it creates forms within itself, from the form's perspective, aka a human being, they are not pure consciousness, they are a human being. So they, in a word, forget what they are. They get into the role, method acting on a higher level. So instantly you feel this bliss that, oh, everything is completely okay. Everything is completely perfect. Balance isn't even the word, because there is no two things to balance. There is just this. I knew I was perceiving from beyond mind because I could look at my mind. Obviously, I cannot explain with words exactly what that was like, but I saw my whole life. I saw my whole, what I thought was my life. So it's like, oh, I'm not that person. I thought I was. You know, perceiving from just a pure, what a purer place than mind. Mind in its essence is pure, because as all things are, because all things come from the imperceivable pure consciousness. But as mind is in form, it's not as pure as its essence. It's like life is a stage. As you are acting on this spiritual stage called life, you have to step off the stage to remember what you are, to remember you was just acting, you was playing a role, a persona. You have to step off the stage, and the stage is mind. That's what you're acting upon. So it's like that. It's like that's what happened. I stepped off the stage of mind and instantly remembered exactly what I am and exactly what I'm not, and everything essentially, and everything is one, and everything is perfect, everything is pure consciousness. I am not the body, literally. Nobody has their own thoughts. They are just pure consciousness doing what pure consciousness wants the forms to do. Just as a character in a computer game does not have thoughts, it is doing whatever the person controlling wants them to do. And it's starting to rain. Pure consciousness wants it to rain. Oh yeah. Even this is funny. So, oh, my scarf. Well, it's not really mine, is it? So yes, the pure awakening comes from realizing you are not. Just close my bag for 1 second. You are not the person, you are not mind, basically. You cannot awaken if you're holding onto an identity. How can you be free if you're holding onto something? It's impossible. You are holding something. You have to let it go. And that's your identity. But here's the thing. After you've stepped off stage, the stage of mind, you will walk back onto the stage of mind. It will just happen naturally. When you walk back onto the stage of mind, you will still be playing the role of that person you have been playing. It's just you will have an expanded understanding that you are not essentially that person. You have all this knowledge beyond knowledge, for it's beyond mind. You will live a more peaceful life. You will understand what's important and what isn't. You understand you've never suffered. So key. You will understand you've never ever suffered, and nobody else has ever suffered, no matter the image. But this can only be known through experience, not intellectually. And of course, the essence of what we are is pure peace. So within this experience, within this stage, we should still treat each other peaceful and with love, for that is closest to our pure nature. Okay, my camera is not waterproof, so I don't want it to get too wet, so I have to end now. I hope I've said enough. I just speak from the heart, these videos, through experience. I wish you so much to question, to ask yourself the most important question, which requires you to let go of identity too. What is the nature of that which experience is known to? Keep contemplating that, for that is the key to helping you awaken into the pure God consciousness that you've always been. It's here right now. It's here right now. It cannot leave. There is no such thing as there. There is a concept. You could point over so-called there, but it's in your experience. It's here. There is only here. A thought of a different country is here because the thought is here. Everything is completely now. Not now as in time, a higher now. As in there is no other direction, place that there could be. No past, no future, not even now. Just nower than now. When you do come back from the awakening into the person, you will realize that many of these spiritual practices are for fun for the person. You will come back and you won't even bother using crystals anymore. You will see that a crystal is no different from a nail. They are permission slips to help the mind. You'll be able to heal someone just from talking, just from them being around your energy. You come back with a new so-called aura. But your vasana exists. You will still be having remnants of your so-called personality existing within the form that you've identified with. That's fine. You don't want to be a completely different person when you came back, would you? It's just, as I said, you'll be attaching far more loosely to the idea you are just this person. For you are the person, but you are also everything too. You are your best friend, you are your mum, you are your dad, you are your enemies. You are your enemies are you. There is no separation. You are fighting yourself. What's the essence of your enemies? It's the same essence as you, pure consciousness. If they were to ask, what is behind my mind? They would say no thing. If you said the same, what is behind my mind? You would say no thing. And you both know that you are aware of mind. Thus you are the same, no thing. as we all are. No thing, just pure consciousness. It's a mystery how it is, but it is. And you have to perceive outside of mind to know everything is perfect from the highest, which is the only true perspective. For a form doesn't have a perspective. It believes it has its own perspective, a form meaning a person, but the perspective is given from the one perspective's choice to give it that. Just as you can never predict the next thought you're going to have or know the next thought you're going to have, thoughts come like that. We believe there is a subconsciousness, but there is no subconsciousness. If there was a subconsciousness, something would have to be conscious that there is a subconsciousness. This is again just mind trying to understand what its nature is, but it is not a subconsciousness, a bank which holds memories and thoughts and personalities. No, that's just a imagination again. Drop that identity. There is only things happening when they are happening. That's it. Don't go to mind for truth. Go to yourself. Go to your Atman, your pure self. I love you all. I am you, you are me. I'm talking to you right now as you. Where are you hearing these words right now? These words are within your experience. That's how much I am you. I'm in your experience right now. And what is experiencing the experience? Yourself. What is experience? My apparent experience? The self. That is no thing. We are the same. We're just helping ourselves on the stage of mind. Off the stage of mind, we are all just pure and perfect. Okay, my camera's getting really wet now. I hope you have a wonderful journey into seeking what it is that mind is appearing to. Peace and love to you all. Take care.